Hey everyone, this is Fame Magazine. My name is Savannah Jewell, and today we're sitting down and chatting with Kirsten Collins. Kirsten, how are you?
I am fabulous. I feel refreshed. I'm so excited to be here with you. I'm glad we found the button. We're good.
We found the button. I was stressed for a second. I feel good. I feel good now. I'm so excited to be talking with you today because I really want to talk to you about not only your music, but also the Nova of Light project. But before we get into that, I want to get into who you are and where you started. So, open mic, you're from Canada
Okay.
and you've been doing music for a while. Share with us your story.
Yes. So I was born in Calgary, minus 40-degree weather, super cold all the time, but it left a lot of room for creativity. My mom is a beautiful piano player and she is an amazing singer as well. And I remember they would put headphones on the belly when I was in there, so I would come out singing. I swear it. And I sang my first full song on tune at 18 months and my first performance in front of 5,000 people at 5 years old. And so
Oh,
it was in my nature to really want. I love the energy of music. And so at 6, I actually wrote my first song called Take Me to the Moon. And little did I know that that would be a thing that I get to call out.
yeah.
And I got to develop like my writing skills and performing and when I was in Canada. And then when I was 14, my parents were like, hey, we should maybe see if you're really this good. So we'll take you to LA. So we drove up. I'm the oldest of 5 kids now, but at the time, oldest of 4 kids. And we drove across the country and the rest is history. These last amazing years have been me truly getting to work with Grammy-nominated producers, writing for big artists. I have a double platinum song that's absolutely incredible for K-pop music and all these different things. So we can get into that stuff, but it's just been a journey of truly learning. I think like getting to gravitate towards wherever creativity would take me, and I really was blessed with having parents that believe in me. So that was
Yeah,
my start.
that's amazing. So we can touch a little bit more about the K-pop song. Like I wanted to ask you what are some of your favorite projects that you've done in your career? So you can talk about that one as one of them if you like.
Oh yeah, definitely one of my favorites and one of the most unexpected things in my life too, because I never again think that, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that. And I think that's the beautiful thing about being an artist is that you get to experience things if you were willing to say yes. And so I was working with one of my good friends in the studio, and he had a guy come in, and who's another one of my friends, amazing musician. He's like, "Hey, you want to go to Korea?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" And so it was my first ever time going to like a pure writing camp, like in it, like nonstop working. And I remember it was day one I was there, and I went home back to the hotel and I started crying, and I was like, wow, like this is a big thing, like this is over my head of understanding. And I remember my mom calling me and she just prayed with me. And the next day I went into the studio and it was just me and this amazing producer JL,
Uh-huh.
and we just went in and I just felt like a divine moment of just like releasing all frustration and excitement and whatever I was feeling
Yeah.
into this song. It's called Savage, and it really was a savage moment, but I just remember us like going back and forth of like, yes, this sound, or no, this one, or oh yeah, I'm gonna sing up in this melody. And little did I know, I my first ever camp, I got 2 songs placed for aespa, and
Mm,
they are amazing. So,
that's awesome. Oh my gosh, what a story. I would also say yes to a Korea trip.
I mean, come on. Next time, wanna come with me?
I'm there. I would love that. Oh my gosh. So you mentioned about earlier, you said when you were 6, you did a song, Take Me to the Moon. So full circle. And now we have a project kind of sort of on the moon. So, so
Wild.
Nova, I know, like Nova of Light. So what was I got to do some homework. So what was your initial reaction when you learned that your work was going to be archived on the moon alongside artists like Elvis Presley and Bob Marley? That's crazy.
Shaken,
Yeah.
honestly. I think that everything is kind of a shock even when you see it firsthand, like getting to go and watch the launch, like even firsthand, you still don't believe. Like I started crying. I was like, wow, like I get to be a part of something bigger than myself. And um even just the way that it all happened was just so divine. It was beyond my comprehension
Yeah.
because honestly, like it wasn't something, I mean, when I was 6 singing that song, it wasn't something I was like, "Oh yeah, I know it's gonna happen," my music at least. And it's still to this day, like it's still so fresh. And I feel like it's always gonna be so fresh because um I mean, I'm not on the moon currently, but when I go there and I see it, I'm gonna be like,
Right.
"Wow."
Yeah. No, that's incredible. I can't even, I don't fully like understand the whole concept. Like, I think it's crazy. But that's like you at 6 manifesting, really.
Yeah.
Which is powerful. That's awesome. So, because I don't fully like understand like the whole background of it, can you share some like insights into the creative process behind the collection, including like how the concepts came about and how you chose the themes and messages portrayed in the songs?
Yeah. So I remember Space Blue, they were making this movie that's actually a part of the artifacts. And they were like, "Hey, you want to be in this scene?" And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds great. I would love to." And so I remember being in it, and then they were talking about all these like digital art pieces, and that was before the music kind of NFT world kind of sprouted out.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, I would love to be a part of that. Let's do it." And so just this beautiful thing came together because at that time I had just lost a family member, and she was my auntie Star. Her name was Starella.
Okay.
And I remember being on a plane, and I just felt this download of Nova of Light to like activate like a belief in people who have lost their voice or
Yeah.
who have lost sight of like who they are.
Mhm.
And especially women who have been through abuse or sex trafficking, and even just anything in general, and men and children, but especially in that moment for my aunt, just like seeing like life like flash before my eyes. And so it's just such a beautiful and really painful moment for me.
Yeah.
And so then from there, I got to create these beautiful digital art pieces with Space Blue, and they're just me wrapped in gold and just present and very much so confident in who I am. And I think that that was just the stature of what Nova of Light is for me, is that that's the light within people that they forget is there, that it's allowed to shine forth beyond what you even understand about yourself.
Mhm.
And I felt like that was just really represented in these pieces. And from there, I got to pick 13 songs that really have touched some of the beginning stages of my writing career with me personally, and some of them mostly just me and piano. And one of them I have tattooed on my arm. It's called Exposed. I'll show it over
Oh my
here.
gosh, cool.
And it's the notes. I know last night someone was like, "What is this tattoo?" And I was like, "I feel so exposed." And I was just singing to them. They're like, "What is happening?"
Message you wouldn't understand.
Yeah, exactly. Um, so just everything that's on the artifact
Yeah.
is is like like beauty from the ashes, the things that I've really had in my life that are painful, or transitions or transformations of like my heart and forgiveness for myself and for other people, and just being exposed and vulnerable in my craft,
Mhm.
and my identity. And so it feels really cool that like those pieces of me, like even in the shattered moments, they can become something of such wholeness that circles back around. And so I don't know if that really explains what the whole thing is, but
Absolutely. Yeah. No,
that was
absolutely.
that's why the collection was created.
Yeah, I'm sure that's very special to have such a personal connection with a project and like allowing yourself to have a lot of creative freedom with it and maybe even find some like peace with whatever you're associating with it.
Yes.
So I can imagine I think it's very special when artists like correlate with their personal life and then like their creative life. And I feel like you can feel that they're more passionate about it. There's more like a connection there, and I love that, and it shows. So that's super special. I
Thank you.
read, yeah, for sure. I read that Sunshine, the track Sunshine, seems to be like a central piece in the collection, right? Can you tell us a little bit more about the inspiration behind that particular track?
Yeah. So me and Andrew Lane, we're we're like, well, if this is going to be a digital art with music on it, let's go in and write in the studio something that's like about shining. And so Sunshine came to be, and it's a happy, like, this is life, here we are, we're present type of song. And it's actually nowhere online or any digital platforms other than the moon.
Really?
So I will see if we share it any other way, but so
Yeah.
that's what makes it special, is it's definitely just on those digital art pieces of Nova of Light. So
Yeah. Maybe they'll crack those open one day
maybe
so we
we
can
will
hear
hold
all.
it.
Yeah. I'm holding it from the people.
Withholding sounds
So,
terrible, but hey, there's got to
holding.
be some things that gotta, you know, what is the word? Age wisely, age
Yeah.
for good
It's like a
reason.
time capsule,
Yes,
really.
exactly.
You could say that. Yeah. Well, hopefully I'm alive when they do open it. We can circle back.
Yeah, exactly. We'll be like, hey, guess what? It's open. We gotta
Yeah,
go
let's
back
talk
to
about it. Yeah, that's so good. That's so funny. So I was thinking about like collaboration. So collaboration, like I know, plays a significant role in any artistic expression, direction. So how did the collaboration with your producer, Andrew Lane, influence the direction of the general sound versus like just Sunshine? Did he have like any kind of input that was like, oh, we're gonna do this. Like this is a great direction. We're gonna stick with this. How collaborative was it?
I think for any collaboration that I've ever done, it just feels like building a puzzle and
Mm,
like just placing the pieces. And that's something that I really value because different collaborations bring out different pieces of yourself
mhm,
that you feel comfortable or confident to express. And with Andrew, he is someone who he's done this for so long, and he's a legend in that. And I feel confident when I'm in the room, and I'm a melody
mhm,
fanatic, so I spit out a ton of melodies and then go back in and put it together. And so the way that he produces the song is like, it's like you feel the weight, but in the uplifting. I don't know how to express it. It's kind of just like you bounce off of each other. Like anytime in the room with somebody, it's just, this is the energy. Let's put it in and we get excited about it. So that's literally how it went down. Like there's, it's just like, let's get in, let's do it.
yeah,
And the masterpiece happened. So
yeah. That's so important too, to like have a collaboration with someone that is open to all the ideas and that you can bounce things off of, and like you're
yes.
comfortable with like maybe saying something that might not be the idea, but like to get you closer to the final product, whatever it might be.
Yeah, and to
Yeah.
push you through things that
Yeah.
you might be uncomfortable with. Like, I think that's what makes a good team, is that you're stretching each other.
Yes. Just like yeah, like you said, like pushing each other to be better. And there's also a lot of like inspiration in those vibes. Like I feel like I'm more
Yep.
inspired with people that I'm comfortable with and people that I know are gonna help me get closer to this thing that I'm trying to get closer to. Like it inspires me and gets the juices flowing.
Yes, that's awesome. Wait, are you a creative too? I got to hear all your stuff.
Oh my gosh, I definitely don't do music. That's for sure. I do love music. I just I love art. Like I'm definitely like an art
Yeah.
girl. Love like graphic design. And I'm appreciative of all of the art forms in whatever form. And I love to consume it, love to share it, love to get into it, you know.
That's awesome. Hey, that's such a gift in itself to like appreciate something. I
Yeah.
think, to know the value or to make the value of something is a gift. So,
Oh my gosh. I appreciate it. I really love like diving into like artists that are trying to get their creativity out there more. And there's so
yeah.
many that are making so many special things that isn't talked about enough. So it's definitely something that I like is important to me, that everyone has like has their spotlight, has their time to shine, you know?
Well, I very much appreciate you. So thank you for taking the time to talk with me, because
Oh my gosh,
it's such
course.
a gift again to just be able to, like go to the details of why we're in this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Always having the conversation
Yeah.
and just talking about it, talking through it.
Yeah.
Um, But the coming back to the collection, but the collection I saw, I when I was doing my homework, as I was at, I saw the collection was described as a celebration of beauty and freedom and light. So how do you how would you hope listeners and viewers like interpret the connection between like these themes through this project and also your work, if that makes sense?
That's a great question. I would hope in many different forms. I think as an artist or a person, we're always evolving.
Mhm.
And again, like when I look at something I've done years ago, I'm going to feel a lot differently about it than I did when I made it. And
Mhm.
I think that that's like something to treasure and to also like get to grow from. And so when people look at Nova of Light or hear my music or even just a picture, you know, because I feel like people are art and like the way that we use expression and the way that your essence feels and when you're in a moment, people can sense that. And so I just hope that people take that they are those things, beautiful, light, you know, supported, that someone can believe in them, that they are valued. I think that that's like the biggest thing that I stand on in anything that I do, is that if I'm confident in something, someone else has permission to be confident in something. You
Mm.
know, like instead of taking it away from somebody, when you're doing the things that you love to do at the best capacity, it allows me to see that it's possible. And I think that that's definitely something I would love to have happen when people watch or view or see any of the art that I'm attached to.
Absolutely. That's beautifully said. I fully agree.
Good.
I fully agree. I fully agree with everything you said. And like talking about values, how do you find the balance as an artist between pushing boundaries in artistic expression, music in this case, or even in general, and also like still staying true to your own creative vision and your own values?
Mm, it's a
Of,
daily lesson,
of
I
course.
would say. Yeah,
Is it?
like it is, because I believe there has to be foundations. Do you know what I mean? Like pillars that hold you stable. And
Mhm.
if you waver past your foundations, then it can get really shaky because you no longer have discernment or a place to go back to. And
Mhm.
so I have a few foundations that I like won't waver. Does that make sense? Like, but beyond that, those foundations give me more security to push the boundaries
Mhm.
because I get to build up and around and then paint and then like put a window in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So without the foundations, it just could blow over or can sink or can, you know, drown itself. So that's what I feel helps me um keep pushing the waves and like engaging in what's next,
Mhm.
but then also remembering where it came from because everything is already present. It's just about exploring it and being in wonder and meeting it for the first time.